Okay, it's me, Zoe again, and now I'm going to show you how to embed the MP3 player into your page for your podcast on our showcase site. Let me go to our showcase. Hopefully it'll take me there. There we go. Okay, so here's our showcase page. And for this one, I'm going to click my podcast page first just to have that page ready. And then what I'm actually going to do next is I've got the instructions here for embedding the MP3. Oh, before we do that though, let me just make one mention. This is an MP3 and GarageBand does not save it as an MP3. You have to. So when you go and make your, go and do your discussion or whatever you're doing for your podcast, make sure when you go export to disk, which is where I did this to save it to my desktop, make sure you click on the encoder thing so that it saves it as an MP3 file and not an M4 whatever that is, because that won't work. I already tried that and it didn't work, so now I'm using an MP3. Okay, so what we have to do now is we have to go more actions. So we've got to go manage site, attachments, and upload. All right, so here's more actions. Manage site. And it's taking its time getting there. Okay. And now we're going to have to do, I think it's attachments, right? Yeah, attachments and upload. Okay, attachments. I had to keep my page open there to see what I'm doing. You can see where I put my other one up there, and it didn't work because it was a M4A, which is not what we need. We need an MP3. So I am going to go upload, choose file. For my desktop, I now have a test podcast number 2, which is an MP3. I'll choose that, and I'm going to upload it. So that takes a second or two, maybe longer. It does take a minute though. There we go. There it is. And now I've got to do something else here. So let's see what I've got to do. Okay, I've got to choose the file, browse it. I've done that. Okay, now I've got to right click on the download because I need the code that it has. So if I right click on download, copy link, this is what you have to do. It loads your paste buffer and you just go ahead and Command V. This is the little bit of code that we're going to need later on. So just hang on to that. So now we can go back to the site because we already know what we're doing. Okay, so here we are at the site. Now I need to go back to my podcast page. And here it is. Now next, we're going to place the cursor where you want the player. Well, I just want it right here. So it's just going to be right. Oh, I'll have to edit the page first. Duh, excuse me. Okay, so that's where I want my podcast player to be, my MP3 player to be. And now we have to go insert, and we have to go to more gadgets because we're looking for this thing called wrapper. Let me see what it's called, flash wrapper. Okay, so we flash wrapper. We're searching more gadgets here and search. Okay, so then we click on that and we hit select. Okay, and let me see what else. Copy and paste this flash in. Okay, this is what we have to do here. First of all, we don't have to do what it says. I don't like the instructions here. It says copy and paste this into the flash URL text box. You don't have to do that. I mean, you do, but it's going to tell you to replace the URL of our MP3 with what we copied in this step. So everything after MP3 and before question mark. Well, there's MP3 equals. Ooh, there's no equals. Oh, there we go. MP3 and everything there between there and here. We're going to actually take that out. I know this is really complicated, but we have to do it. So we've taken that out. Now what we do is we Command V, and that puts our podcast information in there. Okay, so I'll make sure I send you this little instruction sheet that I made from their instruction sheet. Okay, so now we just Command copy. And let's look at these settings. 400 by 300, include a scroll bar necessary. I guess we can put that if we need it, but I don't think we need it. And the flash URL is right there. Command V. Okay. So now we're going to go OK. And there is the flash wrapper gadget. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, I think we did everything right. I think I did anyway. Let me hit save. And let's see what the flash wrapper gadget looks like. Okay, that's fascinating. So what do we do? Just click on it? Oh, nope, there's a clicker. Okay, hold on. Yep, it worked. This is Zoe Marlowe. I'm just doing a very quick test to see about embedding my podcast. Yeah, you don't need to listen to my boring blathering there. Okay, so that's how you embed the podcast and the player into your site. There's other ways to do it. I tried them all. This was the easiest, believe it or not. So, anyway, back later.